Are we ready? Well, the Notre Dame game coming off that was, was really exciting for us to have that many fans up there. So I just basically like to thank the 15,000 fans that came up and supported us and helped us find a way to win the game. Very proud of our football team. Very proud of our assistant coaches. They did a great job preparing for it. It's time to put it behind us, and we've been focusing in on Kentucky. Late in the year, what we do is we give the players Sunday off, and then they'll come back this afternoon, and we'll do some work on Kentucky this afternoon. So we get a little bit ahead and for our practice on Tuesday. But excited for the Kentucky game. You watch them on video. They're a good football team. They've got a quarterback that really competes, can throw it and run it. And we know it's going to be a great challenge, but we're certainly looking forward to it.
Well, I know it's probably not for the coaches, but is it difficult for the players to put such a big victory behind them?
I think that sometimes it is. Yeah, we've had times where you win a big game and you worry about your next game, but I think playing Kentucky and it being a senior day, and our seniors, a group of guys that have had a lot of success around here and have a lot of pride, that we'll be able to focus and get ready and have a good practice on Tuesday and carry it over throughout the week.
I don't know if you talked about this with your players, but beyond just the rivalry, there's a lot at stake bowl-wise. I mean, you can go to the Orange Bowl. I mean, what else happens? Is that something you discuss with them, or have you yet, or will you?
We talked about it a little bit before the Notre Dame game, that, there's some things sitting out there for us, and some things have to happen. But what we need to really concentrate on is, winning our next two games and having the ability to, have good things happen if we take care of our own business. So let's focus hard, practice hard, and take care of our own business and see how things happen. So they're aware of it. There's no question about that. I really haven't talked to them yet, except for after the game on Saturday night. We meet here later on this afternoon. But certainly I think they understand that there's opportunities out there to go to a very good bowl game. But the first thing we have to do is focus hard, play well, and win a game.
Bobby, would you talk about this being the last game of the season, first or early in the season, some of the differences in terms of knowledge and comfort level, but also the wear and tear of the season, how that affects both players?
Yeah, when we played it the first game of the season, I really enjoyed it because all winter, all summer, it was something to build up to. Now that it's the last game of the season, I think it's exciting because it's rivalry weekend. We're doing it just like everybody else in the country, and there's a lot at stake for both universities. So it should be very exciting for our fans and very exciting for their fans. I think it helps the entire state of Kentucky high school football. So I think it first game, last game, it ends up being a great deal for both of us.
In all your from here as an offensive coordinator, the head coach before, when do you realize how important this game is to the fans? Is that something that happens pretty quickly?
Yeah, I think so. I think, the first time we were here, you realize how big of a rivalry it is. And, it's kind of unique in the fact that, like, in your neighborhood, you have people that are Kentucky fans, you have people that are Louisville fans. I remember the first time I went to a golf tournament, it was the Governor's Cup thing, and here was a guy I thought was my buddy. He's wearing a blue sweater. I go, what are you doing? He said, oh, well, I'm Kentucky. I like Louisville too, So it's just unique. I think it's unique that you have so many people in Louisville some are Louisville fans, some are Kentucky fans, and it's great for all the sports that we go against each other. It's a lot of excitement. There's no question that our players, get energized and have a good week of preparation, looking forward to the game.
When we talk about rivalries many times a year, throughout the record, how much of that is true? How much extra motivation do both these clubs have that sort of knocks out some of the past performances?
Yeah, we just go out and compete. I don't think we worry too much about that or, what they say on radio or TV about the rivalry games. What you try to do is just go through your preparation, focus, get ready to go out and play hard. Understand that it's going to be a difficult, hard-fought contest, and we have to be ready to physically and mentally compete for 4 quarters. I think that's something that we showed in the Notre Dame game, that, you have to really focus and concentrate, and every play counts. So I think that's something that's real important for us in this game.
Obviously, you've only got to work with for 1 year, but this senior group that will be honored on Saturday, just talk about kind of the mark they've left on this program. It's a pretty important senior class.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they've done an unbelievable job for the program. It's amazing how many wins they've had, the big bowl games that they've went to. I've been so impressed with them on, when we first came in, you're thinking, well, here's some guys that are going to be reluctant or resistant, and they were great. They had great attitudes, they had great work ethic, they accepted the change, and that allowed us to move on quickly and get better, quickly.
You seem to kind of always embrace the rivalry. When was the first time that happened for you?
I think the first time it happened for me is when I was a young kid, and it was Carroll College and Montana Tech. That you really understood that there's a rivalry, and I've always felt like at every level it's the same. Capitol High, Helena High when I was growing up, and been to Auburn, Alabama, been able to coach in that game. Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. It's just one of those games where there's a lot at stake. Everyone loves it, and you go out and compete hard and work as hard as you can to win. But I like having the games like this that mean a lot, and people really care about them.
You guys have talked a lot throughout the season, especially after the losses earlier this year, about finishing games. Now that you look back at Saturday, is that exactly what you guys have been hoping for all year in those types of situations?
It would have been a little bit nicer if we had finished it with a touchdown and we didn't have to wait for that missed field goal. We had our opportunity. We drove the ball down there, and then, we weren't able to get it in the end zone. But our guys kept competing. We had a huge play on 2nd down that held them back. Very well defended play on 3rd down, and then, they didn't make the field goal. So what I really pulled from it is how hard our guys played, how hard they competed, and we were still, as the game went on in the 4th quarter, when they were tired, they were still doing what they were coached to do and playing at a very high level.
That huge play on 2nd down, D'Angelo doesn't have a ton of stats this year, but he's been in the middle of so many big plays like that for you guys.
Yeah, he's really a good football player. He's real smart. He understands technique and fundamentals. He read the play. I think he probably knew there was a chance they were going to run a quarterback draw, which that play was, and he read it and got off the block and made the tackle. So he's a great guy to have on your football team, because every day he's going to do what he's coached to do and compete extremely hard, and he's really smart. He knows the game of football.
Beyond the goals that you have, do you think your players or yourself to derive any pleasure from preventing Kentucky from being won?
No, I don't think it's about that at all. It's just all about ourselves. We just want to get to 9 wins, have an opportunity to go to the best bowl game that we can go to. You really don't worry about, what Kentucky, what's in front of them. It's really just about us and what we want to accomplish and how we want to go out and play. And one of the things, if you'll just stick to, the process, stick to the understanding, it's about us playing well, doing what you're supposed to do every play, and the scoreboard takes care of itself. That's what we're trying to work to get to.
When you like them to go to the Notre Dame game, what did you see when you looked at Reggie's performance?
A young man that competed extremely hard. I thought he really did a great job in the 1st quarter, getting us going. Worked hard at it. A guy that really kept his poise after, some things didn't go right there in the 3rd quarter. Was really coachable on the sideline. Garrick did a great job with him on the sideline in the 3rd quarter, and then he came out and competed and made plays to win the game. I was really happy with the way he played and how hard he competed. He's a real leader. Everyone on our team, thinks a lot of him, and are impressed by his leadership and poise at a young age.
You played them last year, the first game in the Midwestern.
how are they different, better than the team you saw your?
Yeah, they're way different on their defensive scheme. You know, they've changed completely. I think they did it last year prior to the Louisville game where they went to a 3-down front as opposed to a 4-down front. So that's a lot different. There are a lot of guys that played in that game that are still playing for them now. I think they're way different as far as offensively. At that point, they were just learning and you know, understanding what that offense was all about. And now they got a quarterback that knows how to make the throws, execute the offense, and is a great competitor. You know, when you watch him play, you're impressed by how hard he competes.
How big is a team Thanksgiving dinner or anything?
Yeah, we will. We usually on Thanksgiving, what we'll do is practice in the morning, have a team meal together, a little turkey dressing, you know, and then let the players have some time off where they get to relax and watch the games, and then come in on Friday morning. So we always do something together on Thanksgiving.
How big is this game in the scheme of like the recruiting stuff? I mean, rivalries are always, you're competing head-to-head against them.
Yeah, I think every game, you know, it contributes to recruiting. I think our game last week in Notre Dame, we've talked to a bunch of recruits after that, and they watched the game, and you know, so I think every time you play and compete, that there is some that influences part of your recruiting.
As far as tools goes, what impresses you about his skill set? I mean, he can.
Yeah, he can really throw the football. You know, he's got a strong arm. He gets it out quick. You know, you're impressed when you see him throw it from the left hash to the sideline, you know, on the right. But I think the biggest thing that impresses me with the young man is how hard he competes. You know, and when they're behind, he's still playing hard and competing and brings them back to win the South Carolina game. You know, so we know that we're going to go in and face a good quarterback, just like we did last week, just like we did with Winston here in our stadium. So we've got to do a good job defensively, understanding what they like to do by their sets and formations and personnel.
As college football tries to figure out who's in the playoff, what would be your priorities for determining those teams?
My priorities would be let them worry about that and just let me worry about beating Kentucky. That's all we can do, is take care of our own business.
When you have a play like their last touchdown, where the ball got tipped in the air, I know you do all those tip drills, defenses do that to bat it down. I mean, what is learning a lesson for everybody? I mean, kind of what do you tell, I mean?
Yeah, you know, I'll be real honest with you. I was looking around to see where that leprechaun was. That's what I was thinking. That's really what came to my mind, is where is the leprechaun? Because I thought we would be out of that, and, you know, they made a great play, and here we go. We had to go battle to win the game, but I thought it'd be a pick. So.
During your first 4 years that you were here, you had tremendous success against Kentucky. Do you think that it's just the way it worked out, or you had better players, or if you look back on that at all?
Yeah. You know, we were really, I think we had good football teams. We had good players that knew how to compete and play hard. Unfortunately, that doesn't help us in this game at all. But, you know, our players prepared hard for the game. It meant a lot to them. We had some guys on our team from the city of Louisville that I think did a great job getting everybody else ready to play and understand how big the rivalry really is.
All right, Coach.
Okay. Thank you.